Good afternoon. Hello. Ritu ji, namaskar. And Rishabh is here. Rishabh, lunchtime, I suppose. Tapasya, Anjana, Ananya is here. Yes, I know Anjana. Rishi, good afternoon. Rishi, 7 o'clock you have your class also. Alright? Tell all the others also, Rishi, 7 o'clock. Alright? Sabke Papa Ji, hi. I don't know who Sabke Papa Ji is, but he is often here in my classes. Chalo, Vishal is here and let us start now. Vishal, tell all the others quickly join. Alright, and so we'll start. Alright, so today we are doing the poem Keeping Quiet by Pablo Neruda. Alright, now this poem is for each one of us. Everyone today, in today's time, in this era of competition, what are we doing? Every day there is a rush for work. Every day we are running to earn money. Like you people are studying, right? What are you studying for? Every day's mad rush for doing something in life, for getting a better option in the future. Then ultimately what? Survival. We are all running this mad rush, we are here in this mad rush for survival. We have just no time. In fact, when we have time, then also we do not think, we do not sit calmly and peacefully and think. We do not introspect. Now in this poem, Pablo Neruda, a Nobel Prize winner of literature in 1971. Alright, he is a man from Chile in South America, and he, wants every one of us to retrospect and introspect mutually. Everyone in the world needs to think and analyze their own actions. What is retrospect? Whatever has happened in past and what you did during that time, those circumstances that were created in the past, what all you have been doing, and to think about that and then introspect, then to self-analyze yourself, whether you were correct or not, whether whatever you are running for, are you achieving anything or not? What is actually the purpose of life? Do we think about this? Do we analyze? Do we sit any day peacefully and calmly to do this? The trees. Good afternoon, everyone. Harsh is also here. Akash is here. Gavita, good afternoon. All right, Arush is also here. See, we have got to learn a lot from nature, from Mother Earth. As we all know, we have got seasons, right? We start with spring. These new buds, new leaves, new flowers, everything comes out and looks very beautiful. The butterflies are out, the birds are chirping, and everyone is haymaking. Everything is very nice. Then summer season, when these, flowers and all these buds become big and they, the trees become more dense. In the beginning, in spring season, there was just, these new leaves had come out. Now in the summer, they all become full of, the trees become full of leaves, full of fruits, flowers everywhere. Then comes the autumn season. Rainy comes in between, but everywhere, everything is different. Usually, globally, we generalize seasons into 4. So that is spring, summer, autumn and winter. Alright, autumn comes, when all the leaves, during summer they were getting good heat. Then after some time, when the west wind blows, the leaves, they start becoming dry, and with the scorching sun, it becomes brown and yellow and brown, and then they fall off. Then comes winter. Winter, when all the leaves have fallen out and the trees and all are full of snow. So many, when the leaves had fallen down, the pollen grains had also fallen here and there, scattered. We all have learned pollination by wind, alright, by animals also. And even the seeds, they also fell off and they scattered here and there. And with the passage of time, the soil and all that moved, the seeds moved inside. And then the whole trees, everything, the whole of the globe was covered with snow. Now that doesn't mean when the whole tree which is without leaf, it is covered with snow, that doesn't mean that it is dead. It is still acting inside the soil. The seed that was there, it is lying, it is sleeping, it is resting, but it is not inactive. As soon as the spring season comes, the east wind blows, the snow starts melting, we suddenly see new saplings come out, new leaves come out, new flowers come out. Where did it come out from? From this tree that was for some time silent. It was calm and composed in the winter season. It doesn't mean it was dead. It was working inside. It was calm, composed, waiting for right time to come, then to act. We all need to learn this from nature. We do not stop at all. We do not think at all. Every day we are running after this, life, the monotonous routine. Do we know our purpose of life? No, we never think about it. It's just a mad rush for survival. I don't know why we fear death. We fear scarcity. We fear death. We fear, all this, and then what are the consequences? Sadness. What is this sadness all about? About not understanding our own selves. And we have this nice short poem. In few words, he has tried to teach you a lot. Let's quickly read. There are these poetic devices. We have alliteration, anaphora, then we have synecdoche, we have personification, repetition, and hyperbole. And all the 12th class children, you need to note all these poetic devices, alright, because MCQs, if you have, then you will definitely be given the phrase and then you'll be asked which poetic device is that. Alright, so let us quickly start. Pablo Neruda, as I told you, he is a man from Chile, alright, Chile in South America, and he was a Nobel Prize winner of literature in 1971. He had got the award. Alright, and we need to know what the theme, your introduction also has this. The theme of the poem is to retrospect, to look at your past, analyze critically. Analyze critically means rightly. Whatever was right and whatever was wrong, analyze it. You know it best. Alright. Then introspect after retrospect, after going back to the past events and thinking about that, analyzing that. Work now, introspect yourself now. Understand what all you need, what the purpose of life is, how you should live your life. Think about it. Alright. And then have mutual understanding with everyone in the world. We all are same. No men are foreign. Regard each other as same. Your brothers. Why you are in war every time with them? Why war with nature? Why does man do this? We need to understand this. We need to think about whatever we are doing, is it correct or not? Let's quickly do. Alright, I'll read the poem. The starting of the poem is an appeal. The poet in the starting appeals everyone, and let us see what he says. Now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. The poet wants everybody to count 12. Now why? The question arises why he has used 12. So 12 can be for the months. The one whole year has got 12 months. It can also be, wherever the analysis and all have taken place about his poem, he has not defined what does he mean by 12. But what we understand is that 12, either it is for the zodiac signs, there are 12 zodiac signs, there are 12 months in a year. I didn't know that we had got disconnected. I did not know. Am I back? Yes. Yes. What was the last thing you heard? Akash, tell me. I didn't know that it had halted. What was the last thing you heard? Let us start with the poem again. I was reading the poem when I saw that this has got disconnected. Alright? Alright. Now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. I was telling you why 12 he has used this digit 12. It is quite possible that because there are 12 months in a year, we have 12 zodiac signs. And it is quite possible that, the clock has been divided into 12-hour clock. We have 1 to 12 hours and then from 12 again we have 1 to 12. So it is quite possible he is referring to that 12. Because wherever the people have, this critically analyze his, these words, they have just assumed it is quite possible for the months. It is quite possible for the 12-hour clock. Alright, so he says, now we will count 12. And we will all keep still. Still is quiet, motionless, silence. For once on the face of the earth, let us not speak any language. Let us stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. So what does Pablo say? Pablo says that for a few seconds, for just 1 second, let us all maintain silence. Let us all keep quiet. Let us stop moving our arms. Let us, on this face of the earth, on this globe, let us not speak any language. We all globally, everybody speaks so many different languages. Different languages creates what? Creates barriers. We are not able to understand each other. Difference in language is a barrier. So he says, let us all remain same. Let us all keep quiet. Let us not speak any language that creates barriers. For 1 second, then he says, for 1 second, let us stop moving arms. Here arms is a synecdoche. This is a poetic device where using, just few words or just one word, he wants to mean a bigger thing. Alright, he wants to talk about a whole by referring to one word. Here arms, can be arms that are always in action, arms that create things, arms that are working whole day, arms that are destroying the trees. Our hands. So it can be these arms. And the second arms that he can be referring to here is the weapons. The weapons that are used in war. In green wars, you have those axes and everything, to cut the trees, to destroy nature. And the weapons in the firearms, all the, the bomb and all that people make, the explosive things that people make. Industries, where such a lot of work is going on, so much of chemicals that comes out, which is destroying the marine life, which is destroying the land, which is creating air pollution. All these are arms. So he says, let us not move our arms so much. So he wants us to stop moving our arms, whether it is weapons, whether it is our arms. It would be an exotic moment without rush, without engines. We would all be together in a sudden strangeness. Then he says, when everybody is silent, no one speaks any language that creates barriers. When we stop using our arms, it will be an exotic, a strange and amazing moment which we all have never experienced. without rush, no one will be running the mad rush for which we are running every day. He wants us to stop from that for just 1 second. All right, and then he says, then no, there will be no engines running. Engines, people moving here and there, fast trafficked life, from one place to another, motors running, the engines in the factories running. There is such a lot of movement everywhere. For once, everything should be shut down, should be quiet. We would all be together, that strange atmosphere when everyone will feel that we are all united. Experience that exotic moment in a sudden strangeness. Why it is sudden strangeness? Because it has never happened before. We have never experienced before. He wants us to stop for a moment. And by chance, when this pandemic broke out and globally everything was locked down, we did experience this. We did experience this. Isn't it? And we could, you and me, now we know the pollution outside in Delhi. But we all had experienced a different environment when everything was locked down. So clear the sky was. There was no pollution at all. So he wants the whole world to experience this type of exotic moment. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales. And the man gathering salt would look at his hurt hands. He wants everybody to stop. He says when this exotic moment comes, which would be very strange, at that time the fishermen would also stop. He would not be destroying, he would not be killing the fish, destroying the marine life. He would also stop. And then he says, and would not harm whales. And the man gathering salt, there are people who go and collect salt. And salt, when they collect, they are in such a mad rush for that collection that they don't even notice that they have bruised and wounded their hands. He wants even those people to stop and look at their hands for once, to just see how wounded and bruised their hands are. Alright, so he wants them to look at his hurt hands. Alright, Srishti is also here. Srishti, you can go back and see, I have done the first page of the poem. Alright, continuing. Those who prepare green wars. I'm explaining the poem right now, then I'll go back and with one by one we'll do all the poetic devices. Those who prepare green wars, wars with gas, wars with fire. Just see, he is repeating, he's used repetition by using the word war, war, war again and again. Those who prepare green wars, what are green wars? Wars with the environment, with Mother Nature. We are killing the trees, we are spoiling the habitat of the animals. This deforestation. What for all the time? Wars with gas, wars with fire, wars with gas, with this industrialization, all the time these machines are running, creating air pollution, water pollution, chemical pollution, land pollution, right? And wars with fire, the people who are actually fighting in a battlefield, killing each other, killing the people we don't know. This side soldier and that side soldier, they all are innocent people killing each other. Why? Because the authorities told them. Why? Right? To fight. Introspect once. Is this the purpose of our life? So he wants us to stop. Wars with green wars, wars with gas, wars with fire, victory with no survivors. He says, either, that side wins or this side wins in a war. It is a victory for one person with no survivors. All the innocent people die in that. Alright, so he says no survivors. So actually he has used exaggeration. Obviously, everybody doesn't die. Some die and some live. Right? So this is the poetic device is hyperbole. Well, we'll talk about the poetic devices later. And then he says, now he wants everyone to stay silent, to stop all types of wars, and would put on clean clothes and walk about with their brothers in the shade doing nothing. So he wants everybody to stop. Both the sides, the opposite sides, the enemy side also and your side also, to stop, to wear new clothes, clean clothes, and walk together like brothers in the shade and do nothing. He wants people to understand each other mutually. By new clothes, he doesn't want new and clean clothes. By clean clothes, he wants that people should have a new approach towards life. Think in a different way. Right? He wants people to look at life with a different attitude. Regard each person as your brother. No man in this globe is foreign. They have the same eyes. They eat the same food. Same air they inhale and exhale. Right? On the same globe we are all moving. The same soil grows everybody's crops. What is different? Is this the purpose of life, that you have come for, to create war? No, so he wants you to stop. Walk with your brothers hand in hand. Stand in the shade of a tree. Shade of a tree which gives you peace and solace. And then admire nature. Understand each other. Alright? And be grateful to God for the beauty of nature that He has given. Don't destroy it. Have you ever realized so beautiful everything is? So we need to stop and understand this. Alright? Then he says, what I want should not be confused with total inactivity. Life is what it is about. I want no truck with death. So he says that don't misunderstand me. I don't want to say that you have to be lethargic or just stop doing any type of work. I don't want you to think that if I'm telling you to stop, that doesn't mean I want you to be inactive. I don't want you to relate this with death. He says, now I don't want truck of deaths. Truck of death, what? What does the truck carry? Dead bodies. The truck carries the broken trees, the branches that are taken, they are cut and taken. Those are also the dead bodies. Alright, then from one place to another, salt is carried. This fish which people collect, that is carried. Everywhere there are dead bodies. So he says, I want no truck with death, no truck full of dead bodies. He wants people to stop all this. Alright, and then he says, if we were not so single-minded, everybody has a single track working. Everybody wants to run for earning money. What for? For survival. Just for survival, everyone has to die one day. Why are we running behind, Why this mad rush for money? Mad rush for survival? We all are single-minded. We all think the same. We need to change our approach towards life. About keeping our lives moving, and for once could do nothing, perhaps a huge silence might interrupt this sadness. He says, this is a sad atmosphere in which we are running. Every day's mad rush is creating what? Sadness. Sadness for what? Sadness for lack of self-understanding. We need to remove this silence. So for once, stop, think, analyze your purpose of life. Analyze, are you happy for what you are working? Analyze, have you achieved your dreams? And if you have achieved your dreams, have you celebrated for it? For once, stay silent. Stop your activity for some time. Retrospect, think about the past. Introspect, analyze your present. Celebrate your achievements. Remove this, the things that create sadness. Relish life and everything that you achieve in life. Relish it, enjoy it, celebrate it. He says, and for once could do nothing, perhaps a huge silence might interrupt this sadness. So we need to elevate this sadness. Sadness. For what? For survival. For fear of death. Every day's mad rush to earn money. Of never sadness, of never understanding ourselves, and of threatening ourselves with death. Why do we threaten ourselves with death? Death, that is a necessary thing that has to come. Why fear it? Enjoy every day of yours. Celebrate present. Think whether you are doing the right thing or not. Whether you are actually working for the purpose of life that you have come for. We need to stop and think. Isn't it? Then he says, perhaps the earth can teach us, as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. So that is what I said in the beginning, that we need to learn from nature. We need to learn from earth. Because during winter, when there are no leaves, the trees are bare, everything is bare and all is covered with snow. We should not misunderstand that the tree or the other things of nature are dead. They seem to be inactive, but they are all working inside. And as soon as the spring comes and the east wind blows, the snow melts and new leaves and new shoots and new flowers and the seeds, the saplings come out. That means nothing was dead. They were lying dormant. But they were not dead. They were waiting for the right time to come. They were calm and composed. So if they were calm and composed and then came out with fresh flowers and fresh leaves, why can't we stop for some time? That is what he says. I want you to stop, at least count 12 and stop for some time. Introspect, analyze what you are doing in life. Alright? And then he says at the end, in the beginning, he had come to appeal to everybody to stop and count 12. And then at the end he says, now I'll count up to 12 and you keep quiet and I will go. So he says that now I'll count 12 and you all keep quiet. Whatever I have told, do that. Analyze, introspect. While I will go and I will try to motivate the same thing with other people. I need to tell the whole world. I need to spread this message in the whole world, in the whole globe, that we all are brothers. Why are we in war? Is this the purpose of life? The mad rush we are running after every day. Are we ever celebrating our achievements? Do we ever stop and look at our hands? He tells to the salt man. His hands are bruised. When they collect the salt, it creates cracks in the hand. Alright? So he says, the hands get wounded, but he is behind this mad rush for earning money, for survival. Survival because we all fear death. Death, which is a necessity. It has to come. Why fear it? Enjoy the present. Alright, so this was the poem. So nicely he has explained. He wants us to be calm and composed like nature. And where was I? Did you hear the end? Yes. What was the last thing you heard? I didn't come to know. Nikita, tell me. Srishti, tell me. What was the last thing that you heard? I didn't come to know that it had halted again. What was the last thing? Death is a necessity. Alright, so I had explained the whole poem. Stay true to yourself. I don't know who you are. Was the poem complete? Alright, now quickly let us see the poetic devices. See the first page everyone, 12th. See, in the first line we have we will. We will, WW. Alright, so that is alliteration. Quickly mark it, Vishal. We will, WW is alliteration in the second line also. Alright, then in the third line, the poet says, for once on the face of the earth. Now here earth has been regarded like having a face, just like a person has a face. So here this poetic device is personification. Alright, so on the face of the earth is personification. Then for the startings, let's not speak in for 1 second. Let's. So if the starting of 2 lines or 3 lines is the same, using the same words, in this poetic device is anaphora. Alright, it is, again it is, Vishal, is it okay? See, in the first two lines, someone tell me, am I back? Yes. See, alliteration I told you, first 2 lines we have we will. Alright. Then third line we have personification on the face of the earth, because earth having a face just like a person, we are talking like that. Alright. So that is a personification. Then 4th and 5th line, the lines of the poem start with let's not speak in any language, let's stop for 1 second. So whenever the starting of the lines of a poem, alright, 2 lines or 3 lines are same, let's, it's being there, right? Starting is that, then that poetic device is anaphora, alright, when the lines start with the same word. Then he says, and not move our arms. Here arms is a synecdoche. Synecdoche is what? When you say one word or a phrase which means something large. Alright, when you mean a whole of something. So that is synecdoche. Here he wants to refer arms to our hands. He wants us to stop any activity, and he also refers to the arms, the weapons that are used in war. Alright, so he means both the things. Then again we have a lot of instances of alliteration. Again we have we would all be together. So WW. Alright, then in the last line in this page we have his hurt hands, H. That is all alliteration. Alright, then change your page. Then we have a repetition of the word war. So why do we repeat? The poetic device repetition is used to stress or to emphasize on a point. Here he wants to stress to stop war. Alright, so war is being repeated. So that is repetition. Then he says in the third line on this page, page 96, he says victory with no survivors. Now in war, yes, many people die, but few are left also. So when he says victory with no survivors, he is exaggerating. Alright, and whenever a poetic device is used for exaggerating things, alright, when you want to say something, badha chadha types, so that is hyperbole. Alright, so that poetic device is hyperbole. And then we have more instances of alliteration. We can see in the next paragraph we have what, want, then again we have we were, so. We were, alright, WW, then there is so single-minded, so and single SS. That way we have more poetic devices. Alright, I have one recorded video also of this poem. If you go through that, that is also very nicely explained. And any problem, anyone? You can ask it now, otherwise we'll meet in the next. We'll do a thing of beauty in the next. We have 2 poems left, right? A thing of beauty we'll do on Thursday, right? Alright, if you have any problem, then you can write in my comment section, and Do take good care of yourself, everybody. See you. Bye bye. And everyone will introspect as to what our actual purpose of life is, whether whatever we are doing is correct or not. Right? Okay. Bye bye.